Tam, I'm conscious that I'll need to let you go in a wee minute, but see, just before I do, we're going to talk obviously about Rangers in depth in a minute. Obviously, Scott was there last night in Bruges. But I just wanted to get your take. You've been a professional footballer. You've played at the highest level in this country. And I get this is a very expansive question, one that you basically can't answer, and I'm stitching you up. But why are we so bad in Europe? Like, why is this never-ending cycle just continuing to go on? You look at countries much smaller than us, like Croatia, producing great players. Uruguay's only get 2.5 million. Why can we not seem to be better, I guess is what I'm trying to say. We're obsessed with football.
Yeah, it's hard to beat a finger on and listen, we could be here all night debating it, but I think it's a technical thing. I just think when you go and you see teams from Austria or Montenegro or Croatia, they're so much more comfortable in the ball than us.
Aye.
And it's the same everywhere. And I remember playing against teams, when I was at Hibs or Dunfermline, and you're playing against Swedish teams or teams from Bulgaria, and they're just so good on the ball. And
is that coaching time?
Some of them are teams you've never heard of, and you're thinking they're comfortable on the ball, that they're brought up to play a certain way, and sometimes you can't get near them. Our strengths, I think, are power and pace and getting the ball in behind and all that. And if you come up against a European team that's big and strong and can play, then you're gubbed. You can't overpower them. So no, I just think that it is a technical thing, and maybe a mentality thing. We've not had the confidence of going to winning places. That's why the Hibs result against Partizan was such a great result, because you think it's a long time since a Scottish team out with Celtic Rangers have went away from home and got a cracking result like that on the road. So listen, we could debate youth football and people coaching and all that stuff, but I genuinely just think it's a technical thing, and that's it probably, to be honest.
Marzuno in the comments, Scott says, Strachan might have been right, genetics. I'm not having that. Nah, come on. We can be better than we currently are.
Do you know another thing, Daniel? See your Scotland youth teams from 15, 16, 17, 18s, they're all as good as anyone. And I don't know what happens from 18s to 21s to 21s to full squad.
They regularly get to the last stages of competitions, don't they?
Yeah, yep. If you go and watch a Scotland under 15 or 16 team against Spain or Portugal, I think we're every bit as good as them. But I don't know what happens, whether it's players not being dedicated enough to their craft, having a good enough attitude, going out all the time, drinking, other aspects that can derail you.
Aye.
But it's that 16 to 18 where I think that's the bit where we're struggling at, and it's maybe we've got to look at the B teams. You've got to look at farming players out. You've got to maybe put a B team down into third division, like Belgium do, Holland do, Germany do, something like that, to give players full first team football. I don't know what it is, but it seems to be that gap for me, 16 to 18, 19, where we seem to fall down, and that's where it all crumbles from being really promising 14, 15, 16.
Mm-hmm. Scott, can you solve the Canadian Scottish football?
I agree with a lot of that. I think opportunity as well at that age. I just think not enough young players are getting a game. You see all the stats. There's not enough kids at that age playing competitive first team football. I do agree with Tam. I definitely think there's something in the kind of hunger and attitude side of it. Tam's right. You go to Croatia, for instance, you see young players coming through. They just look so hungry to be a success. Do you know what I mean? Just dedicate their life to being a professional and making it and getting out of Croatia and going and playing at the highest level. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, our culture or the environment that our kids are kind of brought up in, but they just seem to lack that kind of appetite. Listen, there's outliers there. You think of guys like Billy Gilmour and that, for instance, who, to think what he's went and done after leaving Rangers, but I just think Tam's right. There's so many. You speak to coaches all the time, and they say, don't listen to this nonsense that Scotland isn't producing talented footballers. We are, because as you say, Daniel, we're obsessed with the game. We do produce players, but Tam's right. It's what happens in that gap, that kind of between 16 and 19, where I think there's a real lack of opportunity, and I think the clubs need to take responsibility for that. And I don't know what we can do to change that. We've tried loads of different things, whether it's reserve leagues, under 18s, obviously the B teams, and that's been talked about the last couple of years. But something has to change. These boys need to play competitive football regularly. I think that's the only way you're going to get them to the highest level.